So sometimes you may be wondering how some people are able to make very interesting designs, and maybe you may be trying and your design may not look how you want it to look. The thing is, design is most of the time it's what you are thinking. So just imagine something in your head and you just make it visual. So design is, for example, what I'm about to teach you, something I saw, I thought about it and I was like, okay, how do I make it? So whatever I was thinking is what comes out as a design. Okay, so in this video I'm going to teach you how you can increase your creativity by designing something very interesting inside of Canva. Okay, so if what you're seeing on my screen right now, if that is something you also want to create in Canva, then look, I'm going to take you step by step in this very tutorial. I'm not going to skip a single step. I'm going to take you step by step on how you can design something exactly like what you saw on my screen. So yes, stay tuned and we will be right back after the intro. Yes, so now that we are back, the first thing we are going to do is to click on create a design. So you click on create a design, there are several dimensions you have, and in this you can choose anyone. This is one point you need to choose. Just feel free, choose anyone at all you want, and then you would see a blank space like this. So just make sure you have a blank space like this. And the other thing is, you see all of these elements here, I have uploaded them in a Google Drive. So there's a link in the description that would lead you to a Google Drive so that you can get all of these elements, because we are going to be using them. Okay, so I just don't want you to feel stuck at any point in this tutorial. That's why I've provided every single thing I'm going to use. Okay, and some websites you can also find images, just in case you are using the free version of Canva. You have Unsplash, you have Pixabay, Pixels. All of these websites are websites you can get free images from. Okay, and just in case you're also on the free version of Canva, we would be removing backgrounds. Okay, so with the background removers, there's remove.bg and there's also stickermule.com/trace. So these are all the elements we are going to be using, the tools and stuff like that we'll be going to be using for this very tutorial. I do not want you to feel stuck in any point in time. You understand? Hope you understand me. Yeah, so now let's get started. The first thing we are going to do is to go into photos. And this means if you're in the free version of Canva and you find a particular photo and it's free, fine. But if it's pro, you have other websites like Unsplash, like I mentioned earlier. Okay, so there's this image I use, and the truth of the matter is I started recording the tutorial earlier on, some few minutes ago, and I got stuck at a point and it was just funny that I had to cancel it and restart again, because I tested things out, and yes, I was like, okay, I got it now, I can start with full force. So we are going full force now. Right click and make this image your background. Okay, and before that, sorry about this, detach the image first. Click on your background and change the color to a purple. Okay, so we'll just move another slider somewhere here, and we'll choose a purple. Okay, then right click and replace your background. Then click on the image, come to transparency and reduce the transparency of your image. Okay, so that in this case what we are doing is to blend the image with our background. Okay, that's what we are doing right now. Fantastic. Then there's an image I found on Canva. Okay, so in this case you can search for a cool guy. Okay, a cool guy in Unsplash or any of the free websites I listed earlier. And I'm going to remove the background of this image. So I click on the background remover, and with this you have remove.bg and you have stickermule.com/trace. So these are websites you can also use. Okay, so we are just going to allow Canva to do what it does best. Okay, so this is what we have at the moment. So what I'm going to do is to pull this portion up a little bit, and just in case you can hear some weird noise in the background, it's just my mom chopping meat. Okay, so pardon me, she's selling and I can't stop her from selling, so that's the thing. So just pardon me, and I just hope it's not messing up with your eardrums. Okay, yeah, so now that we have this guy over here, what we are going to do is to go into our uploads, and in uploads with this clouds, we are going to use all this cloud, but the first thing we'll do is to import this brush stroke. Okay, and you can see my design is supposed to be in front, but since my design isn't saved yet, it looks like it's appearing behind the guy. So I would rotate my image this way and position it here and make it bigger. So I think I'll rotate it more, and I'll move it to the top. Right click and send to back. So this is what we have at the moment, but you can freely rotate it to any style you want. Come into effects with the brush stroke selected, go into effects, and you go into dual tone. So the dual tone, there are so many options we have here, but just double click on any of them. And we are going to change the color of these things. So go into shadows, change the color of shadow to something like this. So this is what we have at the moment, and we can just duplicate our stroke, but you can see it's coming in black. And the thing about this using dual tone or any effect in Canva is, after you apply any effect, you need to make sure your design gets saved before you duplicate or do anything to it. And that's what I realized in Canva. And also, let me just say this: if you are using the desktop version, like the desktop app, one thing I've also come to notice is it's not as sharp or it's not as smart as the web version, so you would also need to be patient with it. So I took it to the back and I duplicate it again, and I can make maybe this one even bigger, and I can position it somewhere here. Send it to the back, and sending it to the back, you can just choose position, and we have backward, so you can use that, or you can right click, send backward, or you can use the shortcut Control and the square brackets. And I'll duplicate it again, and I would rotate it this way, and I'll position it somewhere here. So you can see this is what we have at the moment. And I would also send it to the back. Beautifully. Now what we are going to do next is with the gradient. With the gradient shape you have over here, it's also, you also find it there in the link. So I would stretch it this way and maybe make it exceed, so that we know we are in the safe, we are doing things right. Then you double click and pull it up, so that it comes this way. Right click and send it to the back. So that's how it's going to look. Now concerning the text I'm going to use, you can use Bebas. So come into text, click add a heading, and you can search for Bebas. Bebas Nui, but I want to use a font called Grieve, and I think Canva removed it from their app. I don't know why, but when I search for it in Canva, I do not find it. So I'm going to pull an old design I made some time ago. And I'll just copy the text, come here and paste it here. Then I'll just type birthday. So this is what I have at the moment. So I would crop my text and delete this. And I'll change the alignment to center and position it somewhere here. So you can see we are trying to do something, but it's not looking very interesting here in Canva. So the first thing, before we even continue with the text, click on your shadow and lock it so that you do not move it around. Now drop your text to the bottom a little bit, go into your uploads, and we are going to now make use of all of these clouds. So consider the first cloud I have. I position it here. I can even rotate it depending on how I want things to look. So position here, make it smaller. Then I can even send this one backward and duplicate it again, bring it to the front, have it here, maybe increase the size to randomize it, and I can copy again, bring it here. So you can see what we are trying to do, making it feel like the guy is using the clouds, something like that. Then with the second cloud, have it selected, come into effect, go into dual tone, choose any of the options provided in the dual tone effect, and I would use the purple we used earlier and change this one also to the same purple. Okay, then I position it on top. Okay, so you can see what we are trying to do. So I can make this smaller. Okay, then the same colored one, I can position it here. Okay, and select the initial one, make it smaller, make some of the clouds smaller, and then if I want to select what's behind, I press Ctrl and I click to get what I have behind, and I can just be adjusting. Then I put my text on top, so I click on my text, bring to front, and I can position it here. Okay, yeah, so that's the trick. But what we are going to do with our text is, you can see it's looking cool, but we are going to make it look very interesting. And before we do that, select everything. Okay, select everything here and move it to the top a little bit, then move the text on top. Okay, and duplicate your text, so you can use Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V, bring it to the bottom, come to effect and choose neon. Okay, so you can see how it's looking right now. Then come into the text color and choose the purple or whatever you use, place it right on top of your text, and come to position and send backward. Okay, and use your arrow key to adjust it so that it looks beautiful. So this is what we have inside of Canva. All right, yeah. So the next thing we are going to do is to edit this image a little bit to make it pop. So select on your image, come into filter, no, not filter, but adjust. Okay, and the contrast, we increase the contrast by 39. Okay, and I think the brightness can go down a little bit, and the tint, I would send it into the purple space. Okay, or maybe the other end here the same way, but yeah, all the same, so that our image pops. And I'll move it down a little bit. Okay, so you can see what we have. We are not done yet. The next thing we're going to do is to select on this text and duplicate it, and this time around we are going to say party. Okay, so PARTY, and I think it's all caps, so I'll turn it off and I will position it here. But I'll come into the text area and I will change the text. Okay, the type, so you can use any script font, so you can just search for script, SCRIPT, and there's so many script fonts you can use depending on what you want. With this one also, you can freely choose any one at all you want. This is also looking cool. Okay, and we have the tropical. So what I want to actually go for is Brittany. Okay, so BRITTANY, so Brittany. So this is how my Brittany is looking, and I select the color and I change the color. Okay, so this is how it's looking right now. But you can see the only thing about Brittany is not bold. If I want a bold one, I can just come back here and change. Okay, so it is just really test out all the fonts, and if you're still not getting a font that is really popping out, okay, so you can see that the party is not really visible, then what we can do, we can duplicate it, okay, and come to effect and choose holo, and we would send it backward. Okay, we'll just reduce the thickness of it, change the color to white, then select it and move it backward, so you have something like this. You get it? Yeah. So I think it's not in the center. I can just come to position and center it. Okay, then I select what's behind, come to position and also center it. Remember, if you want to choose what's behind, you press Control, press and hold Control and you click. Okay, so you keep clicking till you have what you want to actually select. All right. Okay, now the next thing we're going to do is to put some few details at the bottom. Then to do that, I just duplicate my text and I can just reduce the size, and I can position it somewhere here. Okay, and I can just maybe DJ switch There's a Ghanaian lady who is a DJ, and she really does well with her DJ stuff. So what did I do? DJ SWITCH. Is this how to spell switch? I think so. DJ switch, yeah. So I can select just the switch, okay. You can change the color. So I'll do the same for the S over here and change the color. So this is what we have at the moment, okay. So if you don't have enough space, you just select everything and just move it up slightly, okay. Or you can also reduce size of the entire thing, just reduce a little bit, okay, and just move them around, okay. That's what you can do also. So I put here the name DJ switch into center. Then we come into the next thing we have to do is to press L on your keyboard for line, and we'll position it here, change the color to white, come to the style, change the style to dot, okay. And you can increase the width, and the main reason is to reduce the is to reduce the number of dots we are seeing. But the thing is, at the moment it's very difficult to reduce the size, okay, because once you reduce the width, you can see how it becomes. So maybe we'll just leave it this way, okay. So select position center, select this one also, come to position and center. Then what we are going to do next is to go into our text, okay. So you select subtext and you can just change the color to white. Then we can write some few things, maybe live. You can use all caps, okay. So live music, okay. And I use this line, maybe free drinks, and maybe PlayStation 4 or FIFA 21. Of late I've been playing online FIFA, and it's been very interesting. Like, I've been scoring so many people, but there are some people who also get me on the live online game, and they can score me no, too bad. I got someone, I scored the person 6-2. I scored 6 goals and the person could call it 2, and unbelievable, in the next game someone also got me and gave me 6-0 and I could call it 2. So it was very interesting, and so far I'm really enjoying it. So now select this, okay, and we can duplicate it, bring it to the bottom and reduce it very small. Maybe if you want to put some websites, okay, so where people can register for the party, so www.mywebsite.com. all right, and yeah, that's how it's looking at the moment. So we are going to do something extra. Select on this smoke over here, okay, bring it here, send it to the back, make sure it's behind the guy, okay, duplicate it, bring it here, and now send it backward. So you keep sending it backward, okay, till it's behind the guy, and you can duplicate it, make it bigger. I can now send it behind the guy, so you can see, and I can duplicate it again, bring it here, rotate it to something like this, position it here, okay. So with this, we are just trying to do something for people to wonder how this was done in Canva. That's my aim. My aim is to create designs that will cause people to ask questions that, how did you do this in Canva? That's all I aim for. So now I select this one and also send it to the back, okay. So you can see what we are trying to do, just trying to give it some sort of flair and stuff. So even with this, you can still even add a dual tone effect to it. You get it? So you can click on it, come to the dual tone, okay, and just change colors to the purple we added, and come to shadows also and choose the purple we added, okay, and click on apply. Then you can just select duplicate. My design isn't saved. Okay, I don't know why. Because sometimes you want to be working with speed, and these simple things gets to be slowing you down. So I can also position this here and send it backward. Just be creative with this just part of design. You really need to be creative, otherwise your design will be looking so busy. Okay, yeah. Now what I'm going to do next is to add a glare. Okay, so I think I had one here. Okay, so I have this that I can position here, make it bigger also to here. Okay, but I think this looks too much. It's really looking too much, so maybe I'll go into clip art. Let me just do it here. Okay, so I'll search for glare, and I'll also drop it inside of the Google Drive. Okay, so you find everything there, so you don't have to follow this part of the tutorial. Okay, so I'm just trying to find something very interesting we can put there. If I do not find any, I can just forget about it. So it looks like this portion is really taking a lot of time. So maybe what I can do is I can select this, okay, and I'll still search for it, and if I find any nice one, I'll just drop it there, and I can reduce the size, the transparency, sorry, not the size, and bring it down, and I can change the color to white. So I'll come to duotone. Okay, and it's loading. So you just need to give it some time to load. Okay, yeah, so you double click and come here, change the color to white. Come here also, you can change the color to white and apply. You can see it's just a faint line. This is just for details, a faint line over here, and I can duplicate it and bring it to the bottom over here. Oh, it's not even saved. It's in design. Okay, so select it and duplicate. Okay, and position it down here. Okay, so this is what we have at the moment, but right now what I want us to do is to put something here, like a date. Let me minimize this tab over here. So we just want to put a date there, so I select my text. Okay, I hold Ctrl and keep clicking and select my text, and I'll select and just put 28. Okay, I think I'll just put my birthday over there. Yeah, because it's when you're making yours, you can choose to put your date, your date of birth over there. Okay, yeah, so position it here, then I can just duplicate, or I can use maybe with this text. Okay, the Montserrat we added. Now I'll just duplicate this, select, and I'll put April, APRIL. Okay, and I'll just reduce the size and position it here. Nice. So this is what we have at the moment. Because of the 7 is making my design look funny, so let me just choose 28, because I think 28 will look better. Yeah, position it here, select this, make it bigger for it to fit, and hold shift to select both of them and reduce the size. Yeah, so this is very cool. So now what we can even do again is press L on our keyboard for the line and select, okay, click this portion, hold shift and move it so that it moves straight. Okay, awesome. So this is what we have at the moment, and this has been a very long tutorial, and I hope you're able to follow through to this point of the tutorial. Okay, but one thing is I want to reduce the transparency of this. Yeah, okay, so yes, this is very cool, and thank you so much for taking the time to watch what I demonstrated in this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. You really learned so many things and so many techniques inside of Canva. The name is Benjamin, and always remember, there is no limit at all to creativity. Feel free to like this video, share with your friends, or anything at all, and I will personally see you in my next tutorial.